As I mentioned, more comments coming in from US President Donald Trump and more trade threats are coming in. The US President said in an interview last evening that he will sharply raise tariffs on India within the next 24 hours, slamming our continued purchase of Russian oil. Calling India an unfair trading partner, Trump also plans sweeping hikes on global drug and chip imports and has also warned that pharma tariffs could soar to nearly 250% over the next 1 year. My colleague Shrishti Sharma is now joining us with more details on this.
Well, yes, tariff continues to be at the center stage of Trump's latest commentary, and along with that, interesting comments on who will be heading the next and will be the next Fed chair. Firstly, let's start with the commentary on India, where Trump is actually saying that he actually plans to substantially raise tariffs on India within the next 24 hours. That will be interesting to note. But along with that, if we also see the comment sector-wise, he's actually threatening of a sharper increase in the tariff rates with respect to pharma as well as semiconductors, and maybe within a week these fresh tariffs will be announced, and these tariffs will actually start small, inching higher to 150% and going as higher as 250% is what saying. He's also highlighting the fact that it's Switzerland that has been making a fortune out of exporting the drugs to the United States. So definitely all eyes on that, and that will be an interesting development to note. But along with that, with respect to EU, is actually warning 35% of tariff on the EU if they can't meet the obligations. On China deal, Trump is actually quite happy. He's saying that US is close to a China deal right now, and maybe in the times ahead, if a deal is through, he will be planning to meet Xi Jinping as well. And along with that, with respect to the champion recent trade deals with Japan and EU, he also made comments over there. But along with that, with respect to who could be heading and will be the next Fed chair, he's actually saying that Scott Bessent has actually declined the consideration for the Fed chairs. He mentions two other people aside from the two Kevins for the Fed role as well. So definitely the market will be watching this particular development very closely. And lastly, on the energy prices, Trump is saying that if the energy prices fall, Putin will stop killing. So these are the big commentary that we are tracking this particular morning coming in from President Donald Trump. Back to you.
All right, thank you so much, Rishi, for taking us through the latest commentary that's coming from Donald Trump. But, to get into more specific, let's actually listen into what Trump had to say about his meeting with Russia and the capital that flows in because of tariffs.
Well, I never said a percentage, but we'll be doing quite a bit of that. We'll see what happens over the next fairly short period of time. But we'll see what happens. Yep. They have a meeting tomorrow. We have a meeting with Russia tomorrow. We're going to see what happens. We'll make that determination. We're taking in trillions, not billions, trillions and trillions of dollars from other countries who, for years, took advantage of us. They took advantage of the United States like we were children, and that's not happening anymore. Now they're paying a lot of money, and they're paying hundreds of billions of dollars. Individual countries paying hundreds of billions of dollars. You're seeing what everybody else is seeing. And we have a lot of things we can do. One of the questions asked of me this morning is, are you going to make a dividend to the people? And the purpose of what I'm doing is primarily to pay down debt, which will happen in very large quantity. But I think there's also a possibility that we're taking in so much money that we may very well make a dividend to the people of America.
In fact, let's also go across and listen into what market expert Ajay Bagga had to say on this.
We'll have to protect these sectors. At least the employment has to be protected till new markets are found or new uses are found for those factories. There will be some amount of issues, maybe a 0.3, 0.4% on the GDP, which is a big drag. So that's why I'm saying we have to have a fiscal stimulus measures ready to counteract this.